Hello, hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Goddess Complex podcast. I'm Ashley Michelle, your host and a resident witch, and we have an unhinged KiKi today. I love a good unhinged KiKi. So last week, I opened up the floor for you all to ask me questions about whatever the hell you wanted. And babe, you guys just went in. And so I'm like, there are so many questions here. Let's just do a podcast on it. Let's just get in bed, snuggle up. If you're watching the visual, we have another bed episode, friends. So come join me. Let's make a snuggle puddle and let's talk. But before we do that, darling, I want you to remember that Mastering Tarot with Astrology is open. It's open. Mastering Tarot with Astrology is this 8-week live course where you will learn the deep, intricate undertakings, connections is a better word, that tarot and astrology have so that you can be a better reader, a more accurate reader, so that you can utilize these modalities to help you make better decisions, to help you make more money, to help you call in even more love and expansion, to help you get the job that you've wanted, to help you finally lose the weight, whatever it is. Guys, I'm not going to hold you. I've been using tarot and astrology to fund my life. Like, no lie. Tarot and astrology directly informs all of my decisions. And like, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but if you've been with me for a while, you know what I'm going to say. If you don't toot it, who's going to toot it for you, boo? I'm doing great today. I'm the healthiest I've ever been, mind, body, soul. And that's on fact. No cap, whatever the fuck they say. Anyways, and I attribute it to tarot and astrology and channeling and meditation and taking responsibility and ownership and all the things. But my point being is Mastering Tarot with Astrology at the time that you're listening to this is open until Friday. And we just introduced a 10 pay option. Yes, my friends, 10 pay option. You can get started on this journey with me for $250 a month. Yes, I got the new Mac. She does that. But for $250 a month, which is fucking unheard of. And that's going to be the last time it's going to be like that too. So the link is down below. Come on in. We're waiting for you. Okay, boo. Let's get through this because we have a lot of questions to go over. If you ask me a question, thank you, first of all. Now, am I going to answer every single one of these questions? Probably not. There's probably some questions that I cannot or don't want to answer, but I'm just letting you know. Okay, so we got this question a lot. Love you, girl. This is Lunagar 702. Hey, girl. Hey. Love you, girl. By the way, first off, are you guys planning to go see your hubby's fam soon? Well, I think you're gonna have to fuck around and find out. That's what I think. I think that you guys have to remember, he moved really far away from home, right? And that man wants to see his family, my family. And I've been to Ecuador like 9 times. Very familiar with the country. It's a beautiful country. So take it how you want it. Favorite restaurant. I got this a couple times from, oop, make sure you're good. Okay. Uh, oh my God. Brownie points to anybody who can place this doll. Her name is Nancy. If you can place her, you'll get a special shout out on my story. Okay. Um, favorite restaurant in Rock, fellow 585 right here. That's Ash KB0. And then from one Rochesterian to another, what's your favorite restaurant? This is Alyssa Moho. So, I like the little hole in the wall restaurants, right? First of all, anything sushi related. I'm a huge sushi person, love sushi. And I'm not really into chain restaurants, right? If I did do a chain restaurant, it'd probably be like Texas Roadhouse or something like that. But as far as just regular restaurants, I love Flasia. Flasia's a good one that we have gone to a lot. Velvet Belly, super fucking good. We just did, what restaurant did we just do? What's it called? Like Vibra Urbana, something like that. The food was amazing. Amazing. Trata is also really, really good. Huge Trata fan. I'm a foodie at heart, believe you me, and we're definitely going to talk about it, but I love a good meal. I love to sit down to a good meal. I love all that. So we have been doing a lot of cooking. Manuel is a person who enjoys cooking at home. And because I am working towards something, it's also, I need to be cooking. So we haven't gone out to eat as often as we would have, let's say, a year ago. But those are just some staples of mine. I got this question a lot. How long did it take to become fluent in Spanish? I got that question, or like a rendition of that question, like how'd you learn your Spanish, all of that. No, I've addressed this before, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it again. So when I first went to Ecuador, circa like 2011, 2010, 2011, that was when I met Manuel. So I met him on New Year's Eve night from 2010 into 2011. He asked me to go out on a date. Not on a date. Oh my God. He asked me to go dancing. So everybody was dancing in this little small town in Ecuador that we were at, and he asked me to dance. I knew no Spanish whatsoever. And obviously, he knew no English. That night, we sat on a rock. I'm not even like exaggerating, my friend. We sat on a rock with a Spanish English dictionary and we went word for word, like all night long. That was the catalyst for my Spanish speaking journey. From then on, I traveled back to Ecuador multiple times. I spent some time in Honduras, Mexico, shout out to Chiapas. And I also took classes. I don't remember what level. I think I got to Spanish 4. I took enough classes where I could have minored in it. And I also was talking to Manuel when Manuel and I took our break. If you remember, we took some years apart. Um, you can take the girl out of Latin America, but you can't take you can't take the Latin out of the girl, honey. I had a few other Latin lovers that I spoke Spanish with, and also utilized Duolingo, things like that. So um yeah, I lots and lots and lots and lots of practice. And when Manuel came back into my life, we spent hours, my loves, like hours on the phone, going word for word for word. And if you're on a language journey, all I'm gonna say is that you have to practice the language. This is actually what I've been telling Manuel about the English. It's not enough to just listen to it, like practice it. And I personally believe Duolingo is one of the best language apps out there. It's low cost, it's very affordable, and it's super interactive. Um, so I highly suggest starting there, depending on how serious you want to take the language, and also getting into classes or like speaking forums and utilizing it. You can't be afraid to be wrong. Like you cannot be afraid to be wrong. It's gonna happen. I said this the other day, there are still words that I fuck up. And there are so many times where I want to express myself in a specific way. And Lyra, excuse me, I'm recording. Here, come up here. Come on. There are so many times where I want to express myself in a specific way, and I I don't remember the words, so I have to work my way around it. And that's okay. It's an A for effort. And so if you're on a language journey, there's no magic pill, babe. It's practice and consistency. Scorpio woman with an Aquarius man. Good or bad combo feels intense. Bad. LOL. So I answered this on my story, but I'm going to elaborate a little bit. I want you all to know when it comes to compatibility astrology, right? It's about so much more than just the sun sign. So a lot of astrologers will look at Mars and Venus, thinking, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. But honestly, like, why are we doing the man-woman thing? You know what I mean? So when you're looking at compatibility and are you compatible with somebody else, you want to look at the moon signs because the moon signs are directly correlated to your subconscious emotion, right? How you may feel without even recognizing that you feel that way. And a lot of projection can come from the moon sign because oftentimes we don't recognize we are feeling a sort of way. For example, shadow work like jealousy, right? Maybe you consider yourself a non-jealous individual, and then you're dating somebody and maybe you have a Scorpio moon because they're known to be jealous, right? um you're dating somebody and it's very, very new and you guys are in a group scenario, and I don't know, somebody comes up and like starts hitting on them or something, and you start feeling this like rage of jealousy and you don't know what's going on because you're not used to being jealous and you feel like you're not a jealous person, right? That's what I'm talking about when I'm saying subconscious emotion. And so, with that being said, you want to look at moon signs. You also want to look at rising signs, and you want to look at sun signs. So, you want to look at the big three. You also want to look at the seventh house. That's the house of relationships, marriage, and partnerships, right? And you also want to look at the charts overlaying each other. It's called a synastry chart. You want to look at those two charts together and see where people's Jupiters are, which is like the planet of luck and abundance, and what their fourth house might look like, because the fourth house is the house of home, the how we grew up and the home that we're building. So you want to make sure those are looking compatible. Astrology is a beast. And, we can talk about sun sign compatibility all day, but it is an inaccurate picture. I do synastry charts, by the way. Link is in the show notes. Shameless plug. Any thoughts on the solar eclipse? Yeah. Um, So this is why I'm hosting the Eclipse Series, which is another offer that you can step inside me with. Eclipses are portals of transformation and transmutation, right? We are being offered this beautiful gift to sit in the energy of the eclipse and take a look at what is working and what is not working in the area of said sign, right? Or sign. So this eclipse is in Aries. And so are we taking up space? Do we feel like we are leaders? Do we feel like we are meant to lead? And if you feel like you are meant to lead or to be a leader of some sort, are you doing it? And if you're not doing it, why? Why not? What excuses are you telling yourself for why you're not doing it? Do you know what I mean? Aries energy can also be, I don't want to use the word volatile. Let me use a better word. um Passionate, um but like emotionally unhinged. There we go. And so, and again, this eclipse is happening in Aries, so it doesn't matter if you're in Aries or not. This eclipse is affecting everybody. Excuse me. Now, if you have a lot of Aries energy, you're going to be more affected than somebody else who doesn't. Or if you're a fire sign, you're going to be more affected than somebody else who isn't, right? I'm a fire sign. And so that unhinged anger that Aries can sometimes have can affect us in ways. And so, or it might be, this might be a beautiful time for you to take a look and be like, I'm really fucking angry about some things. And maybe I project onto my wife all the time. Maybe I project my anger about something else onto somebody that I love, and I really want to stop doing that. Maybe I'm just an angry person and I really want to explore why. Maybe I'm incredibly misunderstood because I don't know how to vocalize what I'm trying to say. So I want to get better at communication, and nod to Mercury retrograde that we're also going through right now. And so this solar eclipse is a great, great time for us to take a look at how we interact with others, how we are leaders in our community or non-leaders in our community. And maybe we need to be. If you're listening to this podcast episode, there is some sort of aspect of you that feels like you need to be in a leadership role. Because I only attract leaders. Yeah. Um, I also urge you to come inside the Eclipse series, where we will be exploring this and so much more, and doing a lot of healing practices around our heart chakra specifically, right? Because Aries feels with their heart, right? They're emotional, but sometimes that emotion isn't expressed in the most healthy way. The delivery of the Aries can be abrupt, is what I'm getting at. The delivery of the Aries can be brute, like with brute force. There's Aries needs some time in their soft girl era. And so during this eclipse, it's an invitation to enter into our soft girl era. Nothing's wrong with that. Being vulnerable and taking up space in your vulnerability is a beautiful thing. So join us. The link is in the show notes. Okay. What does it mean when you keep seeing your B day, my B day 1011, and always seeing it? I'm always seeing it. Um, So, numerology, I would suggest that you watch my episode on, or listen or watch my episode on the 222 portal that happened February 22nd, where I go deeper into numerology and the meanings. But if you are continuing to see the same numbers, oftentimes it is your guides trying to communicate with you. One thing that I learned from a spirit guide of mine is to pay attention to what I'm thinking about or watching or ingesting or listening to when those numbers are coming up, because that's where the message will be. When did you begin your journey studying tarot and astrology? So I remember growing up and my grandma was always talking astro. Like, oh, he's a Virgo. I don't know how I feel about him. My grandma's a Gemini with a Sagittarius sun. Shout out, grandma. And so I always remember the astrology kind of being a part of it. I got my first tarot deck when I was 17. And so I started in astrology, right? Like pulling my first birth chart around like 15, 14. And then I got my first tarot deck at 17. And she couldn't be stopped, darling. She couldn't be stopped. She found her home. And so, yeah, that's how long I've been practicing. And I'm 34 now, about to be 35. So, um, what is that, like 15 years? Something like that. Lukawick Sanis, whoa, says, how's it going? It's going good. Life is good. Life is so good. My life is so full right now, with such positivity, and I'm doing everything that I desire to be doing and more. And I'm gonna keep spreading the love. Thanks for asking. Sun, Moon, and Rising, Bookworm Kim. My sun is Sagittarius, my moon is Aquarius, my rising is Cancer. Then Wells' rising is Cancer, his sun is Scorpio, his moon is in Gemini. Can Manuel work now? Guess we're gonna have to fuck around and find out, aren't we? Do I also work with Lenormand cards? So Lenormand cards is another version of tarot or oracle cards, right? So I do have a deck. I definitely do not use them as much. And I tend to incorporate oracle with the tarot, but the tarot is my first love. What program did you use to shed the weight? I'm in Fairport, not far. So I, what program did I use? So Ladder, Ladder, is my weightlifting program that I was on. I was on Ladder for about a year, 5 lifts a week, a conditioning day, and zone 2 cardio. Absolutely amazing. I was on Limitless, Team Limitless with Coach Kelly. Fantastic program. Um, Fantastic. I've seen so many changes in my body. But stick to it though. Stick to it. It's 6 days a week. You can do how many ever days fits for you, but stick to it and you will see results. I'm currently starting something new because I have something new happening that I'm going to be announcing very, 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 very soon. So make sure you stay close and pay attention. I can't announce it yet, but you're going to die when you know. But for the last year, I used Coach Limitless or Coach Kelly and Team Limitless. But one thing, we'll answer this question now since we're on it. How did I lose the weight? Why did I lose the weight? All this stuff. So I want you guys to know something. Just because like you saw the show or whatever, it doesn't mean that I lost 100 pounds within the realms of what you're seeing on the show. I started my weight loss journey before I even started filming the show. So I lost 100 pounds over the course of about 2 years. So know that, please, and thank you. Know that. Um, why did I lose the weight? And I know a lot of you guys asked because of what I posted before. And I think that's important to know. We're all like, we live in a society that is like, I want it and I want it now, like instant gratification. But I think, if you're a witch on a weight loss journey, if you're on a weight loss journey in general, if you're on a bulking journey, if you're on a lifting journey, whatever it is, if you're on a journey with your body, you need to understand why, babe. Why are you going to put in the extra time, energy, and effort to do X, Y, and Z when you could just sit in your bed and watch fucking Netflix and live your life from the sidelines? And so that's why I said that. No, why did I lose weight? Oh God, why? I'm going to be going deeper into this on my YouTube. There's going to be a whole series coming out where we go much, much deeper into this. So make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. You also get the podcast episodes, you get the visuals of them too. So that's down in the show notes. But plain and simple, my body never felt like it was mine at my heaviest. I felt like I was in a different body. It felt like uncomfortable, like it didn't make sense. I was never that girl that like went to McDonald's and got two Big Macs. I was never that girl that never moved. I was teaching spin classes at my heaviest weight. If you want to know my heaviest weight, subscribe to the YouTube channel. All that will be there. Um, I was hiking at my heaviest weight. Like I was doing all of these things. I just never felt like I was in the correct body. It was like an out of skin experience. And it got to a point where I was like, I'm done. I am actively missing out on opportunity because of my weight, because I'm scared to do something. I'm holding myself back. I'm afraid of being judged. I'm afraid something might break on me, all sorts of things. And it just had to be enough. And also with the work that I do was a big one. How can I be a spiritual practitioner guiding folks to live their best lives? Whether they're coming to me for business help, whether they're coming to me for spiritual help, whether they're coming to me for whatever the fuck they're coming to me for, right? They're coming to me. I've worked with thousands of people. How can I be the best shadow worker, be the best star seed, be the best mystic, the best healer that I can be when I am in denial about the deep insecurities that I have around my weight? I felt like an imposter. And that's the truth. It was not about vanity, it was about integrity. So, yeah. How's your husband's English coming along? Girl, it's a slow burn. Oh my God. You all that watch the show have probably noticed that like I push, he pulls. Um, it's our dynamic. And so I have had to learn to just stop pushing. Even though I believe that English should be learned in a certain scenario and in a certain way, he's got to come to that conclusion on his own, and I can't force it. Um, it's coming. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Stay with us. Pray for us. Your bae looks like he lost weight too. He is going to be really happy to hear that because he think he getting chunky, they have the freshman 15. They should call it the American 25, right? If you're a foreigner, Um, I'll let him know. This question, I got a lot. When the baby's coming, LOL, my fave couple from just about any season. Well, first of all, big, wait, big, big key shouty. There we go. Big key shouty. Your guys' handles kill me. Um, we got this a lot. Girl, I don't know. The baby thing, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I am still very much navigating the baby thing. Do you see? I start getting all like angsty. They're just so permanent. And there's so much that I want to do. Um, Fuck around and find out. Uh, Kimmy Creepers believe in ghosts? Sure do. I believe in ghosts, the paranormal, extraterrestrials, other dimensions, alternate dimensions, all their timelines, astral projection, fairies, the fae. Yeah, all of it. I am Bear. You were absolutely gorgeous. Just to say that, okay, bye. Thank you, Boo. I appreciate that. Ghost, you also seeing you makes me happy. Thank you, Boo. I deeply appreciate that. I'm telling you guys do not understand, man. The- I can only say so much. I have to remind myself of this. Because, like, you get me talking on a topic and I will just go unfiltered. I said this was going to be a very unhinged conversation. All I can say is I do not, so far, I do not regret putting my life on blast for your guys' enjoyment and entertainment. But there are moments sometimes in time where it's like, that's the best way to explain it, that facial expression. Um, any recommendations for getting over someone after a breakup and not thinking about them? Convos with Carm. Yes. First of all, I'm so sorry. Breakups are the worst. I'll tell you what I did. I slept with rose quartz. I'm not even joking. If I had my big ass hunk of rose quartz with me right now, I'd show you, but she's a monster. She's like this big. And I slept with that bad boy in my bed with me for weeks until I felt like I was done. Now, here's why. Rose quartz is a stone that correlates directly with the heart chakra, and it helps bring in and keep in those love vibes, not just romantically or platonically, but even with yourself and self-love. So I did a lot of rose quartz work. Okay. Um, Also, one thing too that you can do is cord cutting, right? You can do a cord cutting ceremony, or you can have me do it, or somebody that you trust do it. And that's just literally, it's a witchy ceremony. Two candles, a piece of hemp cord. I would probably use black, just because black candles are protection to protect you. And it's just a way of letting it go. You can also sit in deep meditations and ask your guides to help you let go of the relationship and be thankful of it, because you wouldn't be who you are today without it. So sit in gratitude for the relationship, but you can also let it go and allow yourself to let it go. That helps. And I mean, you can also get a reading always. Okay. No question from Syracuse. I said this on my story. Yeah. I went to school in Syracuse. I went to SUNY College of Environmental Science and Forestry. So, I know Syracuse pretty well. Lawyer questions with the K1. You can totally do the K1 on your own. There's lots and loads of resources. I was in a Facebook group specific to Ecuador. Um, that really helped a lot. And so anybody that's going through the K1, you can do it yourself. So what I did was I printed out all the instructions, and then I printed out a few copies of all the forms that you need, right? I printed all that stuff out, and then I just like went through all the instructions with a highlighter and wrote down all the questions that I had. YouTube is great. Utilize your resources. The second half, the only reason why we used a lawyer was because your girl, time crunch. Only reason why, time crunch. Do you have another job, or do you just practice your craft? Well, just, baby, this is the main squeeze. Um, no, this is my job. I I just like saw myself in the same. This is my job. This is my job though. Whoa. Matrix. Yeah, so my main squeeze job is Starseed Shadows, and inside of Starseed Shadows, I do one-on-one readings, I do group mentorship. I help baby witches, business owners scale their businesses and stay in business, which is very important. I help them with pricing, shadow work, imposter syndrome, witch wound, all of that jazz. I work with star seeds. I do a lot of star seed work, helping baby star seeds awaken. I work inside the Akashic records, the whole nine. And then I also work in fitness, right? So spin and all of that. And I'm working towards my personal training certificate right now. And I will start working in PT pretty much immediately. And then, that little thing called television. Do that too. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Do you think the show accurately depicted my relationship? Do I think the show accurately depicted my relationship? I answered that question in the subscribers only. So go to Instagram and subscribe. You'll get that answer. What's my favorite thing about my husband? I mentioned that he's very affectionate and he's really funny. We're so goofy, both of us. We're cornballs, dude. You barely get to see it, but I promise you it's true. There's a reason why I went through everything I went through. Fave healthy meals. So there'll be more of that coming on the YouTube, but my best piece of advice is just focus on the protein and then the rest, like after. Like find proteins. Like I'm probably gonna do some cottage cheese and fruit after I get done recording this, but find the stuff that you like and stick with it. Best piece of advice. Okay, last question I'll do. Did you finally meet your husband's kids? Fuck around and find out. Oh my God. I hope this helped you guys get to know me a little more and my universe. And maybe we'll do this again. If you all liked this episode, let me know. If you like this, just answering your questions, maybe we'll make this a thing. And once a month, we'll just drop a Q&A on questions that you all may have. Because this is a cute little unhinged KiKi. I'm here for it. Awesome. Make sure you share the episode. I'm dying to see you inside of Mastering Tarot with Astrology or the Eclipse Series. One of the two. Pick your poison. Come on in, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao for now. Hello, friends. I hope you loved today's episode. Make sure you share it with a friend, share it with somebody that you love, and tag me on the gram at Ashley Michelle 90 Day and let me know your thoughts. Leaving that 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify is literally what helps this work get to the right people. As you may or may not know, we are in the middle of a spiritual revolution, and us being able to get our hands on resources like this podcast and others is what is literally going to make the world go round. So do me this favor and please leave me a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and share the episode with somebody you love. It really, truly does mean the world to me. I love you so very much, and I will see you in the next one.